there everyone, Stevie Johnson here, and today I will be discussing the Boston Freedom Trail. First off, I would like to say that God is central in human history, and because of Him, we can learn so many awesome things within our discipline. The three sources I chose to use come from Nina Zanaree, Report from the Field, Not the Same Old Freedom Trail, A View from Paul Revere House. The second comes from Alfred Young, Revolution in Boston, 8 Propositions for Public History on the Freedom Trail. And the third is the Freedom Trail Foundation website. The Freedom Trail can be found in Boston, Massachusetts, and it is a 2.5-mile walking trail connecting 16 total sites. Zanarini describes it as, to some extent, the grand old warhorse of public history. Some of those 16 sites include the Boston Common, the State House, Old South Meeting House, site of the Boston Massacre, Old North Church, and the USS Constitution. The website on the Freedom Trail describes the preservation and tales of high treason, mob agitations, revolutionary action, and partisan fights of the American Revolution. Themes from the website of the trail show freedom and patriotism by highlighting the history of the revolution in Boston. It seems like there is a very strong sense of preserving the history through this public historical site. However, Young seems to disagree. He believes that different people should be highlighted, such as Abigail Adams, Ebenezer McIntosh, and Prince Hall, rather than people such as John Hancock and Samuel Adams. He also believes that there is a struggle to add ordinary people such as those listed above, and because they don't want to change the history. A lot of times we're taught in school textbooks about such important figures, and the smaller figures are left out even though they had such an influential or since they influenced the American Revolution so much. And he believes that those at the Freedom Trail choose to leave them out because it might change the history for ordinary people. He also believes that there needs to be a better way to represent the dark sides of the American Revolution, such as slavery, as it is not highlighted very much within the Freedom Trail. He has a point to address the flaws of the Freedom Trail as he went and witnessed it, but as historians, we definitely understand that, especially in middle and high school courses, that only the surface is scratched when it comes to history, and within these public history sites, there definitely needs to be a more focused and true history about what actually happened, even if that means including people that are not usually mentioned within history books. It's very important in public history to represent the true history. However, it is very important to note that Young's article was written in 2003, which was 15 years ago, so much may have changed within the Freedom Trail. Either way, the Freedom Trail in Boston has made much progress since first opening in 1951. One can learn that, for example, one can learn that the Old South Meeting House was the biggest building in all of colonial Boston and held the colonists who would eventually decide what to do with the tea by dumping it in the Boston Harbor, which would then become known as the Boston Tea Party. Or they could learn that the Paul Revere House is the oldest remaining structure in downtown Boston and the only home on the Freedom Trail. Even though there may be some debate on the accuracy of the Freedom Trail, it still holds value and educational purpose for those that choose to visit, and I personally do believe that it could be very important for those to visit it and learn much more about the American Revolution and its history.